How we doing, everybody? UFC Thoughts here, and today I'm going to be going over my picks and breakdown for every fight on UFC Abu Dhabi, Whitaker versus DeRitter, that wrapped up yesterday. I was at a family function, and most of today was spending time with some family. So sorry this video is out a little bit late. I did really bad on picks. I went 5-7. The first time I've gone sub 50% on a card the entire year. I feel like that was a lot of people's first times going sub 50 though, or at least going 50 on a card. Yeah, this card was really hard to predict. But the main event, I got correct. And speaking of the main event, let's get right into it. Robert Whitaker versus Rene DeRitter. I do believe there's a lot of discussion going on about who people believe won the fight, whether or not it was a robbery. I do believe that Robert Whitaker did not win. Alright. Sorry I baited you guys. I think Rene DeRitter won. I thought round one was very clearly Robert Whitaker. I thought he was landing really good shots on Rene. Rene DeRitter, RdR, I'll just call him RdR. Fuck saying his whole name. He started getting into himself at the end of the round, started landing a lot of knees. By the way, RdR literally fights like a UFC 4 knee and elbow spammer, but just knees. He threw so many knees in this fight. I feel like of these 192 total strikes, I feel like all elite, like 100 of them were to Robert's body. Round two, I thought was very clearly RdR, as the numbers would suggest. In round three, even though the numbers look like they sway towards RdR, because at the end of the round he took down Robert. This round has to go to Robert Whitaker since he got the knockdown. So going into the championship rounds, it's 2-1 Rob. Round four is very clearly RdR. Very clearly. Robert isn't really able to get anything going. Round five is a sort of swing round, I guess. There's no way I think I can, like, on the feet, RdR and Robert are basically even. They landed, like, some nice jabs, but RdR has so much clinch control time in 4 and 5. There is literally no way I can give these rounds to Robert Whitaker. He has control, and he's also doing stuff with the clinch. He's Merab maxing a little bit. But hey, if Merab can do it and get dubs, so can RdR. And the body attack really paid off for DeRitter, because you look at the output and how much he lands. Robert didn't really land anything in this fight. He landed very minuscule, other than 1 and 3, which are the rounds that he won. And the only reason why he even landed a lot in round 3 was because he got the knockdown. He was getting his ass handed to him in the third round. Up to that point, it actually looked like RdR was going to finish Robert Whitaker at the beginning of round 3, because Robert started doing the thing where he kind of airplanes out a little bit, and RdR was on him, and then he got a little overzealous, went for a knee to the body, and got clipped to the right hand and got dropped. I have no idea how he survived. He grabbed the glove. But yeah, I do believe this is a very clear 2-4-5 RdR victory for him. I don't really see a way you can give 5 or 4 to Robert, because even then in round 4, which, like, maybe these numbers are wrong, maybe I'm misremembering. I really just thought RdR really controlled him really well in the clinch, did some damage, or looked busy, was landing his signature, like, because he's got really long arms, so those punches actually do have some oomph on him when he's, like, punching the body in the face. He was doing a lot of that. He was doing a lot of what he, like, Bo Nickel, when he was, like, punching his body in his head, that's a lot of what he was doing to Robert Whitaker in 4 and 5, but just not as hard. And also Robert was able to take it without breaking. But RdR was close to breaking Robert Whitaker in this fight. Like, he was close. Either way, even if you do believe Robert Whitaker won, this fight just proves that RdR is a actual, like, staple of the division now. 4 fights in 8 months. He's gotten 3. He beat Gerald Meerschaert, Kevin Holland, Bo Nickel, and now Robert Whitaker. He passed the Whitaker test. He beat Whitaker in a decision, which is crazy. He beat him in a decision, and his name isn't Israel Adesanya. You know what I mean? Like, that's nuts. He outpaced him, and like I said, it was really just the physical attributes of RdR in this fight that would pay dividends. And, yeah. RdR, I thought he won. I can understand, like, But it just like the numbers just suggest that Robert doesn't win. He didn't hurt RdR in round 4 or 5. He didn't hurt him to my knowledge, and RdR didn't really hurt Robert either, but he just did way more. I know that he clinched him a lot, but dude, Robert couldn't fucking get out. What are you gonna do? RdR, he wants the winner of Chimaev Duplessis, which honestly the UFC will probably do. But it doesn't make sense. I think they should do RdR versus either Israel Adesanya or the loser of Boholio Imavov. That is what his next matchup should be. But Sean Strickland is suspended indefinitely until they get a fine for him at the Toughen Up shit. Or Tough Enough. But, yeah, good win for RdR. He did win this fight. I don't care what anyone... He clearly won, in my opinion. Robert, it sucks to see him lose 2 in a row. Robert, he can fight fucking the winner of Dolidze Hernandez. Is that fair? Is that a fair win? Or Brendan Allen, for all we care. One of those two. One of those two matchups really does make sense. Let's move to the co-main event. Petr Yan versus Marcus McGee. I was actually kind of impressed with Marcus McGee's performance here. I don't know what round they gave him. Was it the second? I thought Petr Yan had the most damaging shot in round 1 and was landing really well in the first round. And round 3 was very clearly Petr Yan because he actually started to implement his grappling in round 3. So he got an Osotari grip throw, which I said that he would do in the third round. Yeah, Marcus actually surprised me a little bit. His boxing actually held up against Yan for the first 2 rounds. He was actually pretty evens on striking with him. It was just that Petr was landing the way better shots. But Petr did look... I don't know. He did look like a tad bit stiff. There were moments where the combinations were fucking flowing. In the first round, the shot that he landed, it was like a left hook over the top after like a inside low kick. And then he went to like with a right hand to the body and then a left hook. It was fucking poetry in motion. I know Lucas Tracy now has Petr Yan probably in his top 5. But yeah, I thought it was a good performance by Yan. I thought it was actually a good showing for Marcus McGee, though. I will say that. Marcus, he's not... I don't think he'll ever get into the top 5. I think if he fights like ever... Because even in the grappling, he was kind of getting ragdolled by Yan. But he's a fun guy at bantamweight. He is entertaining to watch. So that'll be something to look out for. I don't know what you do with him now, Marcus McGee, because this was like a huge jump up in comp. He went from beating number 13 Jonathan Martinez to getting fucking Petr Yan, who's number 3. Who's a bantamweight that you could give him? Because I don't know if this will dock him on the rankings. I don't think it should. Him versus Montel Jackson, maybe? Maybe? Is that what we're thinking? Him versus Bryce Mitchell. You want to get Bryce Mitchell in the rankings? You could do him versus Marcus McGee, which we'll talk about Bryce Mitchell later. Yeah, good win. Good win for Petr Yan. We move to Shara Magomedov versus Marc-Andre Barriault. This was a hell of a fight. This was a scrap. Round 1, Shara he got taken down and he got back up from it, did really well. Round 2, very close round. I can honestly understand giving this round to Mark. I thought Shara probably still edged it out a little bit just because he cut open Marc-Andre pretty bad and also hurt him. Like, even though Mark hurt him pretty bad, Shara also hurt Marc-Andre Barriault, almost had him quitting. And then round 3 was a demolition job. It was just Shara doing whatever he wanted outside of getting clinched up against the fence. Listen, people are going to talk about fading Shara and how he's not going to be anything. He's got toughness. I think we can all give him that. He's tough. If you put Bo Nickel in that position in round 2 where he gets hurt, where his nose gets fucking broken and he's fucking pressing against it, I guarantee you he fucking quits. I guarantee you Bo Nickel would have quit if he would have gotten hit with that right hand that Marc-Andre hit Shara Magomedov with. I guarantee it. But Shara gritted down and he went to fucking war. And that's the thing I brought up the McCall Luxatric fight. He went toe-to-toe with McCall. He didn't clearly blow him out of the water. He went toe-to-toe with him. I don't think Shara Magomedov will ever get into the top 10 or top 5. I don't think he's that type of athlete. He is fun to fucking watch. I don't understand why people hate on him so. I can understand he's not a great. He is kind of a dickhead. I will say he is kind of, but as a fighter, he's very entertaining to watch. This was the fight of the night for sure. Really good fucking fight. It was back and forth forever, and Shara was. I couldn't believe Mark actually took everything that Shara had for him. And Shara, he did really good. Good win for Shara. It was a layup of a fight. It wasn't a layup of a fight during the fight, but it should have been. But Shara, even when times get tough, even in the McCall XHF fight, even in the Trockley fight, even in the fucking, he grits down. He does. Unless he's fighting Michael Venom Page and he kind of just allows himself to lose a decision. But, like, Michael is such a weird guy to fight. So, good win for Shara Magomedov. I don't know who you put him up against next. I don't really, honestly have no idea. But we'll probably see him October 4th, 11th, 18th. 25th. The 25th of October is probably when we will see Shara next. We move to Asu Amabaya versus Jose Ochoa. Now, these numbers might say that Jose Ochoa won this fight. He did not. I gave him round 1 because I thought he did the most damage. He actually reversed some takedowns from Asu Amabaya, ended up on top, did some ground and pound. Round 2 and 3, the numbers make it look like Jose won. Round 2, he got held down pretty bad, and round 3, he got held down even worse. And Asu, I think he cut him open with an elbow or something, and he actually landed some really good shots in round 3. A lot of what these numbers are Jose on his back, punching. So, yeah, Jose Ochoa was not bad. This is exactly what I thought would happen. This is what everyone probably should have thought would happen. Jose got taken down by Cody fucking Durden. You know what I mean? He's obviously going to get taken down by Asu Amabayev. And it was just recency bias because Asu had one of the shittiest performances of the year against Manel Kopp this March and got absolutely fucking matrixed and got schooled out of his shoes. But Jose Ochoa is still very new. He's going to be a problem when he figures out the issues in his game, which is mostly just his grappling defense and willingness to get up, because he does kind of do that shoot the box. I think he is he shoot the box? I think he is shoot the box, right? He is shoot the box. Where he kind of just lays on his back and allows people to control him a little bit. He did it against Cody Durden at the end of the round, and he did it excessively in this fight. So when he figures that problem out, he's very dangerous on the feet. He's good. He's very young. He'll grow into it. His 1 and 2 in the UFC does not show how good he is. I will say that. I think everyone can agree on that. His 2 losses are to fucking Lone Kavanaugh, who is the best flyweight prospect we have right now. Maybe Ramazan Tamarov is the one above him, maybe, and that's if you count ranked fighters as fucking prospects. You know what I mean? And then fucking Asu Amabayev, who's number 9 in the division. So, whose only loss in the UFC is to Manel Kopp, who's number 5 or some shit. So, yeah, Jose will get back. It was a good showing. It's just he needed to improve, defend some takedowns, and he wasn't able to. It is what it is. We move to the start of the main card. Now, this is where I believe a 6-fight drought starts for me. I picked Nikita Krylov. I got all 4 of these fights right, by the way. I picked RdR, I picked Jan, I picked Shara, I picked Asu. I picked Nikita Krylov in this fight, and it was looking decent for him for most of this round. It was a very, evens round for the most part. And then Nikita goes in for a left body kick, and Bogdan counters with a right hand over the top, clips him on the jaw, sets Nikita Krylov on his ass. And then, I swear to you, maybe 10 of these punches are in the finishing sequence. So, he gets him down, lands really brutal shots on him, and then Nikita gives up his back, and he's punched on the side of the head, and he goes unconscious. Really good win for Bogdan Guskov. I have no idea who you give him next. He's going to get number 10. He might even jump above Volkan Oezdemir, honestly, which is crazy because Volkan beat him. Rakic has a fight booked. You do Bogdan versus Jamal Hill or Jan Blachowicz, I reckon. That is the fight. Those are the 2 fights that make the most sense. Unless you make Jamal Hill Jan Blachowicz. Unless you do that fight. Because all eyes are pointing to Dominic Reyes fighting Carlos Ulberg on that Perth card since Khalil Roundtree and Yuri are fighting. Because Carlos Ulberg is just here. You know, he hasn't lost since the Enzen Chukwu debut. So I think you do him versus Jamal Hill. I think Jamal Hill makes a lot of sense. Jamal coming off 3 losses in a row. I mean, he just got schooled by Khalil Roundtree. Do it near the end of the year or at the beginning of next year. I think that makes a whole lot of sense. Nikita, I'm sorry, bro. You're washed. We move to the featured prelim. Another fight I got wrong. I picked Saeed. Now, again, you're going to look at these numbers and you're going to be like, UFC thoughts. How did Saeed Nurmagomedov not win? Round 1, very clearly, Saeed. He drops Bryce with the knee. He defends all the takedowns. He schools him on the feet. Round 2 and round 3, I want to be a contrarian and say that you could argue that it should have gone to Saeed. Round 2 was very clearly Bryce Mitchell, in my opinion. He got very good takedowns, held Saeed down. And the thing is that makes me so mad about this is Saeed made so many mistakes because he actually escaped a lot of what Bryce was doing in round 2. He actually got 2 reversals, but he continued to grapple with him. And then Bryce was able to get up and get on a single leg and put him against the cage and get him down again. It was so dreadful to watch, man. It was a very boring fight post round 1. I will say that. In round 3, I'm gonna fucking say it. I could argue that the 3rd round is Saeed's round. I don't care. He had the closest finishing sequence of the entire fight with the mounted guillotine. And he also outstruck him. Significant. Dude, Bryce didn't even land a significant strike. And these 8 strikes, I literally could not tell you when they happened in the fight. I genuinely have no fucking idea. So, I don't know. People are hyping up Bryce Mitchell at bantamweight, saying that he's going to run through the division. I think Bryce loses to the first ranked bantamweight he fights, unironically, unless it's like Kyler Phillips. Then maybe he wins. But even then, like, he gassed out in this fight, too. He was tired. He wasn't doing anything on the ground. So people are going to hype up this performance from Bryce Mitchell. He won. I will say, I concur that round 2 and 3. 2 is very Bryce Mitchell. Round 3, I will concur. Can definitely go to Bryce Mitchell. I gave it to Bryce Mitchell on my live watch, but I can understand giving it to Saeed as well. But I think based on the actual scoring sets, I think that technically Bryce would win. Even though Saeed had the mounted guillotine, that was really close, and I'm so sad that he didn't get it because I picked him by submission, but it is what it is. Bryce Mitchell, I don't think he's that good at bantamweight. I'm just going to say it. I don't think he's that good. We move to this fight pissed me off. Muslim Salikov versus Carlos Leal. I said in my video he's very tough. Carlos Leal's walking Muslim Salikov down. He's walking him down, walks face first into a right hand, and genuinely dies. It is one of the wildest one-punch KOs I've seen in the past, year, honestly. Dude, he died. He face-planted and everything. And, dude, Muslim Salikov, he's not even, a punch guy. He really isn't. He's a very kicking-heavy guy. I don't even know the last guy that Muslim knocked out with a punch. Maybe it was it Taleb? Was it Taleb? It could have been Taleb. Was that a punch? I don't know, but Carlos Leal, man, all that hype is gone. Dude, he's getting one punch KO'd by Muslim Salt. How bad is fucking Renat Fakhretdinov? I fuck with Renat so hard, man. But, dude, what the fuck? Because I think Renat hits pretty hard. To be fair, the punch that Muslim landed on Carlos Leal was, perfect. It landed, square on his face, and his hand was nowhere near his face, because why the fuck would it be? He's a UFC fighter. Great win for Muslim Salikov. 41-year-old on a 3-fight winning streak, because why the fuck not? And I've picked against him in all 3 of those fights, by the way. I've picked against him his last 4 fights, I think. Have I picked Muslim Salikov ever to win a fight? I don't think I have. Who gives a shit? Carlos Leal, go back to the lab, you steroid monster. We move to Davey Grant versus Damone Blackshear. Now this fight kind of made me upset. I'm not going to lie to you. Damone won the first round just because he had Davey Grant's back for like 4 minutes, right? Round 2 and 3, he just tries to strike with him. He doesn't even try and get takedowns in round 2. He didn't shoot a takedown in round 2 until like 3 minutes in. And same with round 3. And when he shot the takedowns, they were so far out. It was a bad performance post round 1 for Damone Blackshear. Let's just say that. Davey Grant, great performance. He walked Damone Blackshear down, beat him up with his boxing. He was still kicking, even though I'm pretty sure the reason why Damone even was able to get the takedown in the first round because he sort of caught a kick and then ran the pipe and then switched it and everything that you need to do to get a takedown that he didn't do in the second and third round, but that's besides the point. Good performance from Davey Grant, though. Love to see the old guys back-to-back get fucking dubs, because why not? Davey Grant, that's 2 in a row. Is that 2 in a row? Is he on a 3 or is he on a 2? He's on a 2 because the Daniel Marcos fight was a robbery, but... Or maybe it wasn't. Great win. Great win for Davey Grant, though. Damone Blackshear was on a 3-fight win streak. And actually looked pretty good. And then Davey Grant just comes in and schools him. So, cool. We move. How bad is Mario Batista? We move to Amanda Ribas versus Tabata Ricci. This is the start of the 6-fight wrong streak. Was it 6? No, it was... Am I doing math wrong? Am I stupid? What did I do on this card? Oh, wait. No, I went 6 and 6. I didn't go 5 and 7. Why did I think I went 5 and 7? I just had an epiphany. It was a 5-fight wrong streak because I picked Steven Wynn and Billy Ellicott. Let's talk about this fight anyways. I picked Amanda Ribas. All right. The first round, close. I can understand giving it to Ricci because she's going for takedowns, but I went with Ribas because she actually did get a takedown and landed some really good shots. Round 2, Tabitha Ricci gets word from her corner to throw upward elbows in the clinch, and she does. And right as she does that, she actually shatters a part of Ribas' face that she had previous surgery done on, and then finishes her with those elbows. So, yeah, Ribas was using length very well in the first round, gets clinched up in round 2, gets her face mashed in with elbows, and Ricci gets a TKO win in the UFC. So, what are you going to do? So I did go 50%. So I didn't go, I need to change that. Am I doing math wrong again, like in my head? Let me do this really quick. Wrong, right, wrong, right. Yeah, okay. So I'm not stupid, because it was 12 fights, right? It was 7 prelims. All right, so I went 6 and 6. So I went 50%. And I had 2 underdogs. So, good one for Tabitha Ricci, though. We move to Ibo Aslan versus Belly Elikana. My other underdog. Holy shit, look at these numbers. This fight was terrible to watch, by the way. This is a terrible watch. Round 1, I gave to Billy Elikana. I thought he landed the better shots. I thought he landed really good body kicks and teep kicks to the body, and Ibo Aslan did nothing. Round 2, I gave to Billy Elikana, because, again, he just did a bit more, even though the numbers don't suggest that he was actually throwing a bit more. In round 3, I gave to Billy Elikana again, because I thought he landed a bit more, which he did. And the shots he landed were way better than the shots Ibo was landing. So, Ibo Aslan drops 2 in a row after being a 1-defeat fighter with a 100% finish rate. He looked very neutered in this fight post-Ion Cutelaba, which I didn't expect, honestly. I thought the reason why he would lose this fight is because he would be a moron. So Billy actually didn't get a single takedown in this fight, because Ibo actually stuffed all of them, because he actually went to Dagestan for this fight, and look at what they did to him. They made him boring as shit. Turkey's the last enemy, I'm the Turkish power. You could hear him talking to Billy Ellicott. It was a terrible fight. We move to Muhammad Yahya versus Stephen Nguyen. This is the fight that a lot of people are talking about because of this stat. Round 1. Stephen Nguyen knocks Muhammad Yahya down a total of 5 times. It was really 6. They counted one of them as a trip, even though it was very clearly a knockdown. And then round 2, he dropped him once really bad. I thought he dropped him twice in round 2, though. Maybe I'm tripping. Yeah, Stephen Nguyen set a knockdown record on Muhammad Yahya's face. So Muhammad Yahya is 0-3 in the UFC, has been knocked down. If you count the trip from this fight, which would count as 7 knockdowns in this fight, he's been knocked down 8 times in 3 fights. And not a single one of them was for Trevor Peek. He should never fight ever again. Honestly, I think we should boycott the UFC if they allow Muhammad Yahya to fight in the UFC again. It is a detriment to his health. It is a genuine detriment. And round 2 was crazy because Muhammad Yahya actually hurt Stephen Nguyen really bad at the beginning of the round with a right hand that sent him down. I was like, there's no fucking way this guy's going to come back. And lo and behold, he got too antsy and got dropped really bad for it. The fight didn't actually get stopped from a knockdown, which, by the way, investigate Jason Herzog. Investigate Jason Herzog because he stopped Derek Lewis, Taliesin Teixeira, but never stopped this fight, which could have been stopped. I'm not going to lie. Out of the 7 knockdowns, well, it's 6 technically, but 7 if you include the trip, I think maybe 3 of them you could have definitely stopped the fight over. So, yeah, investigate him because the over-under on rounds of this fight was 1.5. A little strange. Because the fight actually did get stopped because he couldn't see out of his eye. Because his eye was, it was literally his whole eye was blacked over. So, good win for Stephen Nguyen. You get a win in the UFC over the worst fighter on the roster. Good job. And you still almost got chinned. We move to the start of the entire card. Martin Buday versus Marcus Buchecha. Martin Buday, man. What are we going to do with him, dude? Martin Buday is a 7-1 UFC athlete, by the way. He's 7-1. He's had 8 fights in the UFC. His only loss is to Shamil Gaziev. Marcus Buchecha, huge favorite, loses. Basically, Martin Buday, round 1, stuffs all the takedowns, does good on the feet, lands the best shots. Round 2, gets taken down. Marcus Buchecha does really well, does really solid groundwork. Round 3, Marcus very desperately shooting takedowns. Martin Buday beat him up on the feet. I think Marcus actually got a takedown at one, or reversed a takedown. They got stuffed and then ended up getting Martin Buday to the ground or some shit. But he didn't do enough with it to steal the round. So, yeah. Good win for Martin Buday. UFC Abu Dhabi had how many underdogs won on this card? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 was I think Bogdan was on our 6 and 7. So of the 12 fights, 7 of the winners were underdogs. That's fucking bizarre. That is crazy. It was a fun card for the most part. Main event was sick. This fight was sick. Great finish. Fun scrap. Mid. Below mid. Crazy knockout. Pretty fun. Decent finish. Boring as fuck. Beat down for the ages. And heavyweights. UFC Abu Dhabi wasn't a 9 out of 10, I'd say. It didn't live up to the hype of the actual card, but it still was pretty good. I did 6-on-6 on picks, so I didn't go negative on this card. I went neutral again. So I still haven't gone sub 50 on a card yet this year. But bang. So, but yeah, UFC Abu Dhabi, what are you going to do about it? This weekend we have UFC Vegas 108, which is going to be headlined by, we don't know yet, because I know you guys are going to say, isn't that Albazi Tyra? No, because that fight's actually canceled. It's going to be a heavyweight fight between Waldo Cortez Acosta versus somebody. I'm just going to assume it's Derek Lewis. Because why wouldn't it be? It's the only fight that makes sense. Let's look at these rankings really quick. I know this has nothing to do. It's not Kuniev. If it's Shara, I will laugh. It's not Budai just fought. Because this fight's actually been like... Waldo has been saying this for a while. And apparently it's not Pavlovich, who he was supposed to fight in Shanghai. Definitely not Volkov, not Gane, not Aspinall, not Jailton. Oh, it could... Oh, could it be Ty... No, because Tybura's fighting Ante Delija. Yeah, I forgot about that. A fight that I called out. It's not Sergey. It's just gonna be... It's gonna be D-Law or fucking... Could it be Ty? No, but Ty Tuivasa is fat as shit. There's no way he can make the weight. It's gotta be Derek Lewis. It just has to be. It has to be Derek Lewis. Hopefully it's not, though. Hopefully it's Waldo Cortez Acosta against... I don't know. But yeah. So I'll get those picks and breakdowns. I don't know if I'll get another video out for you guys this week. I'll try, but no promises. But I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.